Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry. And just like he always is, the whiskey mutant himself is here with me, Eric Smith.
I got a stain on my shirt.
You do. You just wanted to go ahead and get it out of the way.
Yeah, it's there. You're watching, and you're like, why does he got a stain? It just happened a little bit ago. And you know what? I didn't want to delay recording. I didn't want to get us off track, so I'm just powering through, even though I know I have a little stain there. Perry wanted me to put a little button on there.
You're just going through the whole schmear.
We didn't have a button, and it's in a very weird spot for a button. So,
what if I pulled out just like a lion sticker you would get at the doctor?
I wish. I probably got a sticker somewhere.
Probably. The cat's here.
Cat's here.
Manny's joined us. Jeez.
The weather sucks in Kentucky. We both sound like we're dying, hacking up lungs. Trust us when we say Mother Nature hates us.
That's a good visual gag for anybody watching the YouTube version.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here. Good to be back for another week. Hope you've had a fantastic 7 days. January is finally over.
January lasted 4 months.
It really felt like it did. The groundhog did not see his shadow.
Early spring.
Spring's coming. Everybody get ready for it. I feel like I've done this podcast before.
I'm the Whiskey Mutant.
Anyway.
Welcome to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. What if that stupid little guy, what's his name?
Punxsutawney Phil.
What if he lied?
How would we know?
If we don't have an early spring.
Oh, well, I mean, it's possible.
It's his fault.
Yeah, look, if you want to blame anybody, blame the clairvoyant groundhog.
Yeah. Who gives it? Who has a name like that anyway?
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you for being here, of course. If you want to support the show as well, you can head to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the show. For as little as $5 a month. There's bonus content that comes out every single week, a bonus episode on Mondays, and the pregame chats that come out before the uncut version of this podcast. That all goes over there on the Patreon.
Where I got this
Great time. He got a stain. We'll talk about that and what we've been drinking recently in just a few minutes. But before we get to that, we're kicking things off this week with Flying Blind.
A lot of flying blinds.
We both have Flying Blinds for each other. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
One round.
All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Boom.
So wait, does that mean you go first, or I go first?
I pick. You go first.
All right, well, turn your head and cough or whatever. Whoa.
Sorry. This is a big episode today.
We got a lot of stuff that we're doing. Big old tater pod.
Tater pod. This week. Tater pod.
Which I was talking to Eric in preparation, and I couldn't believe that we have never reviewed Eagle Rare on the podcast before.
It's been mentioned a lot.
Yeah. Don't look yet because I forgot to pour for myself.
Great.
All right, you can look now.
All right.
Left to right.
Left to right.
A to B, 1 to 2.
What if I went right to left? I'm just playing.
I mean, I don't care. You do whatever you want.
Woo-hoo. That smells good.
Yeah. These are 2 bottles that I love, but I have not picked up in a while.
That smells dark. It smells like brown sugar and jelly. Like brown, maybe like a biscuit jelly type thing.
Yeah.
I like that. Smells good. Cheers.
Cheers indeed.
Mm.
Oh, it's funky.
It's got a weird finish. I've been getting a lot of weird finishes lately.
Yeah, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
I like the way it smells better than it tastes. I will say.
I think so too.
Not very high proof. 100 or less? Maybe. We'll see.
I didn't even show the bottles to the
Oh, they
camera,
don't even
so
know?
they don't even know.
No. I always go, I do stuff on the camera. Okay, smelling of the second one. These are from the same family, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay. Very similar on the nose.
Yes.
Very similar on the nose. I will say brown sugar. This one smells a little bit more rhubarb-y.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I like that one a lot.
Oh. Ah.
Once again, 100 proof or less. It's got like a almost like a grape blow pop finish. Nothing funky, very candy like, very candy. Sucker grape sucker candy. I like that a lot. Same distillery, I think. Both of them seem to be about the same proof, 100 or less. I don't know if this is like a Heaven Hill bottled in bond situation, but B, way better than A. I could kill B in like no time.
Oh, B is extremely drinkable. I will say I cracked these on my live stream last night, and it was flipped for me. I preferred A over B, but they've both had basically the same amount of time to open up, which is, 12-ish hours.
Yeah.
16.
Long enough.
Whatever. A is a Camp Nelson E.
Damn, I was off by 1 point. Of course.
Wild Turkey proof. Kentucky Spirit pick from Liquor Barn.
All right.
And B is a Camp Nelson B 10-year-old Russell's Reserve pick.
Of course.
Both from Liquor Barn.
Off by 10 on. They do not drink.
No.
This one did not drink 110 proof. This is good.
It's stupid good.
This is real good. And actually see one that's 10 years old these days.
Mm-hmm.
Good pickup.
I just was trying to figure out what to do for my live stream. I didn't have a good foundation or idea for it. So I was just kind of going into Liquor Barn to see what I could figure out.
They don't drink real turkey like you.
No, they really don't. They really don't. Especially as those super weird, funky Camp Nelson barrels that were out in, 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
They're very, very much their own thing. I haven't bought a Russell single barrel in
84 years.
Well over, probably.
Yeah.
Well over a year. And I just, I picked it up, saw on the back it was 10 years old, and it was a Camp Nelson B, and I don't think I've had Camp Nelson.
Sean Kemp.
Camp Nelson B before. So I was like, I'm going to take a gamble on it. They're $93 now in Kentucky at the very least.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, but you know what? It's really drinkable.
Yeah. I like it a lot.
And I figured I'd put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah.
Too.
On the glass, drinking it.
Yeah.
Where else would you put your money where your mouth is when it comes to bourbon?
My wallet.
You put your mouth on your wallet?
That's where my money is.
Oh, sure, makes sense. All right.
I just kiss it. I just go, I loved you. You're my favorite.
I'm going to mix them.
I'm going to try that too. I don't think I've done that yet.
This is a weird one.
It's so funky, dude.
The Kentucky Spirit.
But I like it for it being so strange. Yes, I do like the Russells better because it is more just bourbon approachable. But it's like if you want just a weird wild turkey, this particular Kentucky Spirit.
Weird wild turkey.
Yeah.
Finish is still weird on the blend. I think there's something on that Kentucky Spirit that just the finish is just weird.
All right, you got something for me.
Yes, I have a blind from our friend and listener of the show and Patreon member Mike Green. Saw him the other day and he gave me these.
He's a good dude.
Yes, he put them in a great package. He gave me this little koozie of a package.
Sex, drugs, and biscuits and gravy.
Yeah, so there you go. That's, if you know Mike Green, that's what he's all about.
A koozie of a package.
Yeah,
that's on his business card.
So at first I thought they weren't labeled, and I was like, Mike, how the hell are we supposed to tell the difference? Then I saw that they've got these little
okay.
markers. Yeah, you barely see that. So
Yeah.
Either way,
That's like Matt Madness samples.
Yeah. I texted him earlier and said, send me the key in Instagram messages. So I have not looked. I don't know. So this is a double blind for us.
Oh, all right.
No idea what these are.
I'm very excited about this.
All right. Mike Green, flying blind. Here we go.
What if it's the same thing?
It's Wild Turkey and Russell's.
It's these exact same picks.
Sample A. What is that, Mike?
Young and high proof.
It does have a similar like rhubarby nose.
Yeah. What's going on?
I'm a rude barb.
Don't let the barbs come after you, man.
Boy. Yeah,
they've had a week.
A high proof nose and rhubarby. Maybe finished. Interesting. Ooh. Very different than what we just had.
I'm getting a lot. It's just like blueberry pie for me.
I get the pie, kind of a burnt pie crust.
Yeah.
I can't tell if this is finished or not. It's giving me
it is.
It's giving me a finished vibe.
I think it's dry enough that I would be leaning towards finished.
Something like maybe a wine finish or something like that.
Maybe?
I don't know. I
got a
definitely
Pinot Noir.
I definitely get the pie crust. I don't know what. There's something else I'm getting. I can't tell. It smells like rhubarb on the nose.
Yeah.
All right, B. Now that smells more like straight up pie crust. It smells like fresh dough. Maybe it's went into the oven for a little bit, but it's like smelling like a dough being baked.
Kind of smells. I think this is a rye.
You think this is a rye?
If it's not a rye, it's a high rye bourbon.
I can see that. All right. It's almost like
I'm sticking with a rye.
A very comforting rye.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't smell or taste as high proof as the first one. And it feels more approachable than the first one.
I also think it's a little bit older.
Okay.
I think I think the first one is closer to like 4 to 5 years. I think this B is more like 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Like not super old or much older than A.
I feel like B is more of a rounder version of the first one.
Kinda, yeah.
If they're not finished, the first one definitely uses the finish to hide the flaws.
Yeah.
Man, I like B a lot.
You know what else too? There's something about these that feel very familial. I can't quite pinpoint what it is, but it's almost like B is the unfinished version of A.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
Like it's kind of got that vibe going on.
I can see that. Yeah. All right. Let's find out what this is. Go to my Instagram, which I have not opened since we started recording. Here we go. Mike Green sent a photo. Jared sent some messages too. How did he know we were talking about him?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
How did we do? Bad?
Well, this is an interesting blind here. So, I don't know how we did. So, neither are finished.
Okay.
One is sourced.
Okay.
One is not.
Okay.
Both are, I can't tell what the proof on that is. Both are very high proof.
Oh, I bet you I know what this is.
What?
Is this, because I think he posted this on Bluegrass Barrel Pickers. Is this a Nulu and a 1792 full proof?
It is. Same
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought it was.
Mike, you gonna send me a blind that you posted already?
These are both Barton. I mean, of course, the 1792 is, but what's so funny about this?
Nulu
About
has Barton barrels.
Barton is going into, and actually, I've got the sister bottle to that Nulu. This is another Barton.
You and Mike Green got something going on?
We're in the same group.
What else?
Nothing.
Whatever. I can see it on your face.
But what's funny about that, though, so I had to go pick up a bottle, not this bottle, but I wound up getting this as well, from our buddy Jade Haddix. And I want a Weller 12 for $26
Where's that at?
in my car.
Okay.
Do you want me to go get it?
No, I've got one over there for you.
Fine. So this was the newer Nulu pick between the two. This is like barrel 2.
Okay.
And he gave me a sample
Of that one?
of that one.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's crazy that
It's a small world.
if we had done that during the like Patreon content, we would have immediately known what was going on.
Interesting. I didn't know that Nulu had Barton barrels.
They do. Yeah, that's you remember the Wagyu that I brought? That's Barton as well, I believe.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that's where all of their Kentucky barrels are coming from at the moment. But it's crazy how different these are for coming from the same distillery and how much better the Nulu is. I'm just going to say it. I think the Nulu is better than the full proof.
I think I like the 1792 more.
The B?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Nulu smells finished. It smells finished.
Well, it's not.
I know it's not.
Here's a little impromptu Pop Chicka Wow Wow. I won't play the whole theme music because it's way too long. Maybe I'll play a little snippet.
Right now?
Why wouldn't? Why not?
We're gonna go through Pop Chicka Wow Wow right now.
No.
Okay.
I just mean like
I could say a lot about Nulu. Yeah, that's about
right. I mean, I will say though, of the 3 Kentucky barrels that I've had from Nulu, I've loved them all. I think they have all been hitters. So I just cracked the this second Barton barrel from our friends over at Bluegrass Barrel Pickers.
It smells like peppercorn.
Ooh, it's very savory.
Pepper. It's like a dry rub. Whew, that finish is strong.
Oh,
that is a spicy, peppery finish.
131 proof.
Holy, what? How much is the other one?
I don't know.
I couldn't tell on the picture.
Let me see if I can.
He took it with like an iPhone 4. I mean, he can't even see.
133.6.
133? How did you even see that? It looks like a Nintendo 64. How are these? These do not taste that high proof.
They really don't. They really don't taste that much like Barton either.
No. They're very, very non-traditional Barton.
Yeah.
They're peppery, they're weird, they're funky. I mean, I guess if you're... okay, I'm not saying this as like a negative thing, but I guess if you were going to source or give up barrels, you would probably give up the ones that are not as profiled that you...
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so,
Definitely.
they're not, banana, a little peanut, stuff like that. I cannot believe the proof on these things, though. That's crazy.
Oh.
They're all so different.
Oh. I did a little blend of the two. Also, I mean, I was fairly spot on with the first Nulu. I mean, it is 5 years old.
Yeah. You
and
said
high
a
proof.
younger, high proof.
Yeah. Smell of that.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. This is My Bourbon Podcast is brought to you by Monkey Cult Coffee Company.
Damn, this is good.
Eric, I got to tell you, I have been wanting to be sponsored by a coffee company for basically the entire time that the podcast has been around. And when the opportunity came around to be sponsored by Monkey Cult, I jumped right the heck on it, man.
Well, you introduced me to this, and first off, the packaging. Friggin' amazing. Looks awesome. This looks like a very Whiskey Mutant type style.
Oh, 100%.
And then you made me some, and I'm very impressed.
Now, and one of the things that you and I talked about before we agreed to the sponsorship as well is, are we flavored coffee people? And the answer is
no.
Not really. No, not really. But there is a really nice balance between the actual coffee flavor of Monkey Cult and their flavored coffees. We are particularly drinking on right now the bourbon chocolate chip flavored coffee.
That's us. Bourbon chocolate chip?
100% of the way.
All day. And like I was saying earlier, like, this does not taste artificial. Like, that's what I hate about the flavored coffees that we've had before. They taste fake. And this is just like a hint of bourbon, hint of chocolate chip, and you still get like that coffee taste that you just need to like get you going. Like, this is great.
Yes. Monkey Cult is also locally owned and sourced. They use 100% Arabica beans from around the world. Great layered yet subtle flavor profiles, for coffee drinkers and caffeine addicts everywhere. There are a bunch of different flavors that they have. Like we said, bourbon chocolate chip, toasted coconut rum, and golden honey agave. They also have some other products, too, that they sell.
I'm already on their Instagram right now thinking of what I want. So send me some more stuff.
And if you yourself, dear listener or viewer of this My Bourbon Podcast, would like to check out the cult itself, you can head to monkeycultcoffee.com and at checkout, use the code MyBourbonPod10. That is MyBourbonPod10 for 10% off your order. Once again, MyBourbonPod10. You're getting great coffee, you're supporting a wonderful business, and you're supporting your boys at this My Bourbon Podcast. And also, the cult gives back. They support National Pediatric Cancer Foundation. If you want to learn more about that, you can head to nationalpcf.org. But we say thank you so much to Matt and the gang over at Monkey Cult Coffee Co. for supporting the show. Thank you for checking out Monkey Cult. And when you buy their coffee, you can join the cult. Woo! Man. We had to take a little active break there for a second too, because
like you said, the listeners are trying to kill us right now.
Yeah, apparently. We talked last week on Patreon about Popeye's chicken nuggets. That's the only thing I've been able to think about since then. So I had a little DoorDash delivery, and it was very good. It was a good little break in between all of the cast strength whiskey that we started out this episode with as well.
Unplanned.
Yeah.
Unplanned.
Yeah. But here we are. What have you been drinking recently? We haven't even gotten there yet.
Oh my gosh, we're just on this part of the episode?
Yeah. It's we still got a little while.
What have I been drinking?
I could have even switched over the mic stand.
Oh, we could have. Oh well, we'll do it next week.
Next week.
So let's see. What have I had? I went to Banners.
Sorry. I just cut something out. Sorry.
Here we go. All the random people showing up at my house.
Sorry.
No, I had a Banners. I did a little Banners flight the other day. Had their foolproof pick. Had
Weller foolproof.
Weller foolproof. Their 1792 foolproof.
Oh.
And then one of the what was the newest one? What was the other one in there? I can't remember. I don't know. Either way, it was a full Banners pick, and I have all the Banners picks almost.
Yeah.
But it's just my favorite local hometown place. Oh, and we went to OBC, where I saw Mossick. Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's crazy.
It was right after, when did we go? It was a few days after you had recorded with Mossick. He was coming in there, and he had a bag full of stuff with some people he was doing a tasting for, which I think he's the only person that could just walk into OBC with a bag. And
We've been there before when he has been there with a bag.
Yeah.
And we have he has pulled bottles out for us to try.
Yeah.
In full view of the wait staff.
Yeah. No, I think
too.
part of them were trying them.
I'm sure they were.
Either way, me and Ape had some cocktails, which they still have the anti-hero cocktails going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the Black Pearl, which is the rum and bourbon or rum and rye old fashioned. Oh, man, I love that thing. I got 2 of them, and I felt so good.
And I fell asleep immediately.
And I slept good that night. But Banners, OBC, 2 must-stop places if you're in Lexington.
Well, this past weekend was my lovely wife Lucy's birthday.
Happy birthday, Lucy!
She turned 31. We went to Shaker Village in Harrodsburg, Kentucky, the night that we recorded last.
Yeah.
Not a huge bourbon selection there, but I haven't had a bottle near me of Knob Creek small batch in a while, so had some of that and got their hot brown, which was fantastic. Lucy got their pot roast, which was better than the hot brown.
That's a good thing when you go on a dinner date with your significant other.
Yeah,
you share. Hopefully
exactly.
She shared. I mean,
she did.
It was her birthday, so she did.
She did.
She
share.
didn't have to.
No.
Okay.
I brought a bag, and I just wound up never getting into it, too.
Yeah.
I was like, I had enough during the day.
Yeah.
And then I had a couple drinks at dinner, and I was like, this is fine. But then we went to we went to her mom's on Saturday for their birthday. Her mom's birthday, I don't think I've ever said this, is 2 days before Lucy's birthday.
Oh.
So they had a little joint birthday party together at their house, at Holly's house. I didn't really get into anything crazy. I had like a Knob Creek single barrel. But then Sunday, we went to my parents' house for Lucy's birthday dinner. We have a lot of birthday dinners together.
Between holidays and birthdays, y'all go all out.
Yeah, we really do.
Multiple times, multiple
really
parties, multiple dinners. I'm jealous.
Now,
Oh gosh.
we also got OBC. We did takeout.
Yeah.
We just hung out. Eden's not exactly the easiest kid to take to. I mean, she's 3.
She needs to get a job.
Well,
I told her this the other day when I saw her. I said, get a job.
Thank
You're
you.
causing your parents a lot of
financial stress.
Yes. I tell my kids the same thing. My daughter's 15 now. No job. So I don't know what's happening.
Well,
I guess it never works. But yeah,
I didn't have a job until I was 18.
Well, I mean, I had one when I was 17, but I think at 3 years old, you should have a job.
Fair. Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's fair. I mean, who else is going to like use super nimble, teeny tiny fingers for, you know, complex electrical wiring?
Coal mines. There's some places you
that's
can't
great.
get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've actually been growing her nails out really long too. So that
That's smart.
she's a good digger.
Yeah.
Anyway. So we got takeout from OBC.
Okay.
I got the Wagyu beef burger.
Oh.
And I paired it
Uh-huh.
with the Wagyu,
Uh-huh.
the Nulu pick.
Yeah. Speaking of Dulu, we've been talking about that.
Holy crap.
Really?
It was an incredible pairing. It's just that that particular pick is so savory on its own, but not so much that it's going to overpower anything else that you have that's savory. It's a very nice balance between the two. And Lucy didn't want, because she knew she was going to have plenty of cake throughout the rest of the weekend. So she said she wanted insomnia cookies. And so I got the salted caramel cookie from Insomnia. And I paired that with the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof A124.
You just a big pear bear right now?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. How'd it go?
Oh my gosh. If I had thought about it, I would have brought it over and we would have done the rest of that pairing together. But
I mean, that was.
I'm dumb.
That was like a week ago.
Yeah, but I haven't finished the cookie yet. It was a big cookie.
How long are you keeping cookies?
A few days.
A few days?
What?
You ain't finishing off cookies in a day or two?
Oh, I forgot about it. I don't eat sweets the way you do. If I'm hungry for snacking, I'm going to get something salty.
5-day cookie?
It's in a Ziploc.
5-day cookie.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to talk about this later.
Okay, fine. Well, maybe soon we'll do a little insomnia cookie bourbon pairing.
We'll pair one that's fresh and one that's 12 days old.
We're not going to do that.
Maybe we will.
We're not.
We're going to change the way you do things.
I'm happy that I'm happy the way I am.
I like eating 12-day-old cookies. Little trash panda. You little trash bear.
Trash bear bear.
Immune. You're the
I'm just the weird one.
Now garbage can now.
Otherwise, I don't really have anything to report. I went back to the 1792 foolproof that we did for Pop Chick Wow Wow last week. It's opened up really nicely. Actually drinks like a 1792 foolproof now, which is, I mean, thank God.
Do you think that people should put like a warning label that says, "Will taste better in 1 week"?
I can't.
Do you think when somebody picks something and then bottles it, they should try it and then say, "Hey, in about a week, this will taste better"?
Do you ever think we're going to have the technology to move the earth?
One day.
That was my favorite thing for like a weekend during the holidays. And it started that night that you and April came over. And we were just chatting, and I brought that up. And Lucy just looked at me and was like, "What is wrong with you?" And then I kept bringing it up that weekend.
Yeah, and April kept going, "What is he talking about?" I said, "Just go with it."
Just like surely we're going to have the technology to move the planet a little bit.
Yeah, just a tad.
Yeah.
Fix this weather. That's why we got sinuses.
Yeah.
The weather. Just a tad. Just a little.
But that's about it for that.
Yeah.
We got a kind of a big review, I suppose.
Something nobody's ever had.
Yeah, we've. If you're just now here because you've never heard of these products, welcome. Thanks for being here. Somehow in how long have I been doing this for? 6 years.
6 years.
We have never reviewed Buffalo Trace bourbon or Eagle Rare.
How is that thing?
And both of us have recently picked up bottles of those.
Yeah. I got mine right here.
And I got mine right here.
Look at that. No stickers, nothing.
Nothing.
Just plain old Buffalo Trace.
And plain old Eagle Rare.
So.
They just shatter.
Yeah, that'd be funny. But when we were talking about this, I was thinking, like, how, I don't know, like, these are kind of overlooked because I think people always go toward, like, Weller, or they go toward the single barrel picks. But at the same time, people can't get them anyway because they're very allocated.
Yeah. And I know that it's easy just to be like, oh, well, it's, you know, taters are freaking out. It's super popular, yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, even still, you just like, you can't find it at all. The Eagle Rare was behind the counter when I was checking out. And I saw it and I was like, I may as well.
And this is supposed to be like Buffalo Trace's just like go-to products, right?
I mean, it's these are two of the products when you go to Buffalo Trace and do a tour that they offer at the tasting at the end of the tour. And you can't find them anywhere.
Why is that?
I don't think...
Is it hype?
Yes. Here's my thinking. I don't think that the bubble is as close to bursting as everybody makes it out to be. I think we still have quite a ways to go because of the persistence and popularity of Buffalo Trace products. Not just Buffalo Trace products, but I think that they play a major part in the like taterdom of bourbon right now. It's one of the more talked about brands. No, it's not the easiest to find, but because there is this, you know, there's still this clout around it, people still lose their minds.
Yeah.
They still go crazy.
Yeah.
That's not to say that I haven't walked into stores and seen, you know, cases of Buffalo Trace from time to time, but I'll go into the same store the next day and it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's not that shelf consistency, shelf life, I guess, that there used to be.
No, I think that's a good point. That's a good way to say it. The shelf consistency, because Buffalo Trace is definitely not on the shelf like it used to be.
Yeah.
Eagle Rare, for the past couple of years, has been I feel like a once a month drop.
Yeah.
And they are the two low proof, supposed to be ready to go. They're at the distillery, but it's like you should just be able to walk into the store and get these.
But okay, here's the other thing too. You can't make bourbon overnight.
That's true.
You know,
10 years
I mean,
old, yeah.
And Buffalo Trace is supposed to be 8 years old.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen on a whim. you gotta be patient.
It's true. But look at other brands. How easy is it to go and get a Russell's 10-year? Knob Creek 9-year? You know, I don't know. I'm just comparing it. I'm just thinking about it.
No, I know what you're saying. But I also think those are two brands that are not as widely celebrated or discussed in the way that Buffalo Trace products are.
Oh, yeah, I would agree.
You know, I mean, if we're talking on the weeded bourbon side of things, when was the last time you walked into a store and Weller Special Reserve was just sitting on the shelf?
Never.
Exactly. But
Larceny's
there.
I get
Maker's
that.
Mark is there.
I get it.
Like there's so many other weeded bourbons that are just readily available, but you know, people aren't losing their minds over it,
right,
or anything.
No,
but it takes this like extra level of hype or discussion for people to latch onto it in the way that they have with Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, I get it.
And I get tired of hearing so much about how great Buffalo Trace is. They have wonderful bourbons. There are just other bourbons that I think are better.
Yeah.
Or that I prefer. Does that make anybody else's opinion invalid? No, of course not. But I do think that there is a very narrow viewpoint that can be associated with the people who are either new to bourbon or think that they know so much about bourbon. But really, it's just Frankfort.
Right.
It's just what's coming out of Franklin County.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know. I think the way I feel about it is these products to me are always good. They're not anything mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But they're going to be good. And it just pisses me off that I can't just go to the store all the time and grab them. Like these 2 bottles, I want to be like daily drinkers.
Okay, but why does that piss you off?
Because
Like, have you not found a bourbon that is a suitable replacement for either of them?
No, but I don't want. Why do I have to feel like I have to replace it though? That's my thing.
I'm just saying, like that's where we are right now.
Yeah, but I don't want to replace it. I don't want to go.
Okay, fair.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
with the price and the proof and everything surrounding it, all that. Like, it just pisses me off that this is not something that I can just always have. And maybe that's just me being
Sure.
selfish and say, well, you could, like, whatever. Yeah, I could find a replacement. But I'm saying, like, I would like to be able to just go and get Eagle Rare whenever I want to. I don't feel like this is like, this should be as allocated as it is all I'm saying.
No.
But yeah, I could go and get Russell's 10. I could go get bottled in bonds and
I mean,
things.
at this point, the playing field between Eagle Rare and Russell's 10 is basically the same. This bottle of Eagle Rare was $50.
Yeah.
That was a $30 bottle 3 years ago.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah. It just makes me mad.
I don't want to talk too much about price, but
I mean, we ain't going to talk about price. Everybody gets mad when we talk about price. But yeah, these should be sub $50 bottles, readily available, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
And it makes me mad that they're not, because they used to be, and now they're harder to get. Now they're more expensive, all that stuff.
What would you rather see? Would you rather see an empty shelf at MSRP with a tag that says Eagle Rare Bourbon, or a store that has it marked up for 2 or 3 times the price, but it's there?
Well,
Because that's the reality of where we are in the bourbon market right now.
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I would rather see it sold out at the normal price than sit at triple the price.
I have to agree.
And that's just, early bird gets the worm.
Sure.
But I don't think this should be more than $50. I don't think this should be more than $30, depending on the size you get.
And this is a liter of Buffalo Trace, and you got it for probably $40, $45?
$37.
Yeah, there we go.
And, a normal 750 is usually like, what, 28?
I think so. Yeah, $28.99 sounds about right.
But we're not here to be sick of it and all that. We're here.
You are sick of it, though.
I'm kind of sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sick of not being able to get Eagle Rare. The fact that you have to get it behind the counter once a month. I'm kind of sick of that.
It's a very strange landscape that we're observing right now. Especially considering the way that we have kind of postulated over how the bourbon market would change, based on conversations we had 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, expecting things to come back not necessarily in full swing, but at least in greater capacity than they have been kind of sitting. And yeah, I mean, here we are. It's still going like, maybe they'll have Buffalo Trace, but like not getting your hopes up about it.
And not to take away from what you just said a little bit ago, but I am kind of sick of it. Of all the stuff, it's like, this is your alternative to this bottle and stuff like that. Like, it would be nice to not have to have alternatives to your favorite pours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I think one of us is a little bit more adjusted to like the reality of it than the other.
I mean, you'll eventually get it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you'll eventually adjust.
I hate that. I hate that. Like, yeah, well, when you're grown up, you're gonna see what it.
You'll eventually get there.
All right.
No,
whatever.
I'm not adjusted. Okay.
That's what
Just
I'm saying.
give me Eagle Rare all the time.
All right. Well, we've chatted enough about it. Let's drink about it.
Drink about it.
For anybody who doesn't really know, these are the same mash bills from Buffalo Trace. The Buffalo Trace bourbon traditionally has been around 8 years old, 90 proof. And the Eagle Rare has had, whether it's been front of the bottle or on the back on the label, an age statement of 10 years old. Still 90 proof, right?
Right. And why can't they say it's a single barrel? Wasn't there a whole thing where like they didn't clean the lines out, so it like mixed in with stuff? You ever hear about that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, never mind.
I mean, a single barrel is technically the smallest batch you can have.
I know, but there was like one thing.
Okay.
All bourbon is
all right.
whiskey.
Let's
but
no.
all
Yep.
whiskey
Yeah.
is not
Yeah.
Smells like just classic cherry Coke. Cherry, vanilla. I don't care if you're sick of hearing cherry and vanilla. That's what it smells like.
But does it blow your balls off?
It tickles my balls. It tickles me. It doesn't blow me away, but I don't expect it to. But is this smell and taste like a quintessential classic bourbon?
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It hits all of those just standard caramel, vanilla, oak, bourbon flavors, but there is still kind of this. I have such strong associations with this bourbon and like being at Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, it reminds me of first getting into bourbon.
It really does.
It's
so nostalgic.
It's a nostalgic factor that no matter how many times I have it, I go, man, I remember when I first started drinking bourbon, it was like, oh, I got a bottle of Buffalo Trace. It's just classic bourbon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just good, man. That's just what you want everybody to feel when they drink bourbon, especially for the first time.
It's so like bright and sunny and just a warm day at the distillery, and you just come out of the rick house and you got the like angel share.
You're like,
fumes going through your sinuses. And
Freddie looks over and goes, "That's the angel share."
You're like, "I love you. Will you be my dad?"
Yeah, sure. As he tells that to 5 other people.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's just good. It's just classic. Yeah, it's not, like I said, it's not going to just blow you away, but you're going to be happy. You're not going to be disappointed with anything. It's just classic bourbon.
Yeah. Eagle Rare.
Eagle Rare. God bless. It's so good. It's just it's a darker.
It is literally the older brother.
Yeah,
of Buffalo Trace.
It's a little darker, a little more mature.
It's definitely rounder.
Yeah, it is.
We always talk about this oaky, grapey note.
It is
too.
so grapey.
It's just grapey through and through.
Oh,
Very purple.
yeah. You smell this, taste this, you just think purple. Yeah, it's the perfect transition from.
It is. It's the next step.
It's the next step. It's, hey, drink this, and now I'm going to give you a little walkthrough of what it's like when you get about, 2 or 3, 4 more years on a bourbon. It tastes cotton candy, grapey, a little bit of oak, and that's why it makes me so mad that I can't just get this whenever I want to. Because it's so good.
I don't see any reason to overpay for either of these.
No, they're not. That's what I mean. That's what makes me mad is because, yeah, we talk about allocated bourbons, but when we talk about that, we talk about like special releases, like, once a year this or batch this, batch that. It makes me mad that these are just normal products and we can't get them.
Yeah.
These get placed in the same allocation orders as all this other stuff. They're so good, but they are still just, 90 proof regular bourbons.
Yeah.
Give me this stuff all the time. That's all I'm asking for, Harlan. I'm calling him out. I know he doesn't have anything to do with that. I don't know.
He might now.
I'm sorry, Harlan.
Because the whiskey mutant called him out on it.
I know he doesn't have nothing to do with that. But it's so good. These two products are so good, and I wish that I never had to worry about not having them. But you do.
Yeah.
Even now, Buffalo Trace, which was easier to get than Eagle Rare before, both of these, you don't know if it's even going to be available at your local store, at least here in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Harlan. Call me.
I'm fine. Everything's fine. Do we want to go through and do the full nose palate finish price?
I think we could do a quick version of those.
Okay. So nose palate finish price, for anybody who doesn't know, is our regular review system here on the podcast. Each category is out of 5. Final score is out of 20. Roughly on the BT, I'd give it a 13 to 14 out of 20.
14 and a half out of 20. I think that I would never encourage anybody to pay more than MSRP for either one of these. I mean, BT $25 to $35, depending on the size. Get it. It's solid. It's great for neat. It's great for mixing. It should be available and on your bar at all times. Yeah, 14 and a half.
Eagle Rare.
16. I think
I'll go 15 and a half.
I think Eagle Rare, you see it for 35 to 45. 10-year bourbon.
I don't know if you're going to anymore, though.
What? I'll see it for that price.
Yeah.
But isn't that what it's supposed to be? 45?
I don't know. I think the MSRP is like $50 now.
$49.99. I would keep it the same. I wouldn't pay anything over that. I think this is an amazing pour, and I just wish that I could always have it, and I can't because it's just not reality.
Yeah. Do you want to know what? This is separate from actually reviewing these. Maybe my favorite beer and bourbon pairing is Buffalo Trace and Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
Really?
Yeah. They are kindred spirits.
Nice. You have an Oktoberfest?
No, not with me.
Okay. Never
Sorry.
mind. I was gonna
Next time.
review that. Yeah.
you just chug the beer.
Yeah.
Burp like Buddy the Elf and go, did you hear that?
I guess we should blend them together.
I guess so. I mean, it's just going to be 9-year-old
It's just gonna
Buffalo
be the
Trace.
ultimate version of both.
Yeah. It just smells like it smells like the same thing.
It smells like those muffins that have the cherry or the strawberry and the grape.
Yeah.
Or in the blueberry in there.
Yeah.
The multi-berry. What is it? Berry?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Things, man.
It's just good.
It is.
It is good.
I think I would prefer the Eagle Rare, but I'm not upset about the Buffalo Trace.
I think if you see both of them and you can only buy one, get the Eagle Rare. It's more rounded. Either way, call me Harlan. Let's talk.
That sounds like you're threatening to beat him up after school.
I'm not. I just want to talk to him.
You know where I am.
I just want to talk to him. I feel like we could connect.
All right.
Set it up.
You think he's an anime fan?
Yeah, no doubt. I know what his favorite one is, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is it?
I'm not allowed to say. Kamigakyo.
I'm Eric, and I know things that I can't talk about with people.
I'm in trouble.
We got some barrel rings to get to this week. This is the segment of the show where you can call or text in, and we'll see what you got for us. We'll read it out or listen to it on the show. That number, though, is 859-428.
8253.
859-428.
8253.
8253. They're those last four digits. Our first message, it's a text from one recently fallen off the bandwagon, or fallen off the wagon, I suppose, because dry January is over for this individual. Tony Bag of Donuts.
He made it.
He was having a great time last night. Not like a time where he was just going too hard.
Out of his mind.
No, he was
losing his backpack?
No.
Oh.
Anyway, he said, hey, it's February, baby. I'm on beer number 2, waiting on Perry to go live so I can have my first bourbon of 2024. He waited for me to go live
Glad somebody
for
waits.
his first bourbon of the year.
Glad somebody waits.
Shut up. What a month it was. Discovered Guinness non-alcoholic, beer Bloody Marys, Guinness. Huh? I don't understand this, Tony. Sorry. Discovered Guinness NA, non-alcoholics, beer Bloody Marys, and that if I put my mind to it, I can do anything for a month. Super happy cheers to you all. And one last thing, for anyone who didn't know, it was me who wrote the Night of New Rhythmus. That felt good to get off my chest. Love you all. Geez, the beer is already kicking in.
Dang. He's letting everybody know.
Yeah.
Damn.
We got
Can't even talk.
Hey, we got a couple of messages as well.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Jared. And hey, look at that. Voicemail still not fixed. Liars.
We'll fix
Liars.
it today.
Anyways, I got a Star Wars beef that I'm going to air to you guys, so I know you guys will get it and have input. And it's essentially that the Force, the power of the Force is wildly inconsistent across all the various Star Wars projects. Like if you watch episodes 4, 5, 6, like the original trilogy, yeah, Obi-Wan and Vader and even the Emperor, they were doing some kind of cool stuff, but there wasn't that much going on. Episodes 1, 2, 3, it gets obviously more intense, and the Jedi and their heyday and the Sith and Obi-Wan and Anakin, all the Jedi are doing cooler stuff, but still, in the realm of that. Then you get the J.J. Abrams project, and suddenly you got Kylo Ren stopping blaster rounds in midair and just going about his business for 5 minutes, just not even paying attention to it, which that was unheard of. And you got Rey, who's just like, I'm going to teach myself mind control real quick so I can escape from this prison, and I got that, And Luke had to run around in the jungle with the greatest Jedi of all time for a long time before he can even move a rock. Rey's like, I can do this. And then Obi-Wan, you got Darth Vader just holding back a starship. That wasn't possible back in the day. So yeah, now I'm watching Rebels, and we got Ezra's just, casually learning the Force as a teenager, and then him and Kanan are just flinging each other around whenever they have to escape from somewhere, or Ezra's like, let me talk to the animal real fast. No, he's cool. So, I don't know. I don't like it. It just seems wildly inconsistent. It just kind of whatever fits the storytelling of that project, it seems like. I don't know. It annoys me. Pet peeve. So, discuss.
That's how he ended it.
Discuss. Well, the Force is very non-consistent between users because of how strongly they are to the Force. It also depends on who they were trained by. So, yes, you could see Kylo Ren doing all that stuff because he was trained by Luke, who we only saw a little bit of what Luke could do, and he didn't start learning the Force until he was like a teenager. But then once he learned more, he could teach Kylo from a young age up to that. Every Force user has like a special connection to the Force, so that's why you will see one person being able to talk to animals or stuff like that, or see the future or an echo, which if, in the games, you can do Force echoes and stuff like that. I could see if you were just looking at it from movie to movie to series, and just looking off of the kind of just what you can see.
I mean, he's not wrong in that capacity, though.
Well, it's true. I mean, I've never thought of it that way. I just thought of it as, one person is stronger than the other. So, I don't know.
Well, here's, as far as like the relationship between Obi-Wan and Luke goes, my assessment of that is Obi-Wan spent how long shutting himself off from the Force?
Years and years and years.
Right.
Yeah. And,
I mean, basically like 12 years. So he finally like reconnects with the Force as a result of seeing that there was still good to be done. However, I mean, I don't feel like Force wielding is the same thing as riding a bike. I think that there are parts of it that you do kind of forget if you haven't used it, but there's also that opportunity to learn more. And I think about the way that maybe Luke knew how to Force project before he reconnected during Last Jedi.
Well, I think at the same point too is I think some people are naturals and some people aren't.
Yeah. What I was really trying to get at though between Obi-Wan and Luke is that Obi-Wan had all of this like intense experience with the Force where, he was surrounded by it and lived through it, but then shut himself off and maybe had time to like reevaluate what it meant to be a Force wielder.
Yeah.
And so the way that he taught Luke was not necessarily as a way to, and maybe he was afraid of encouraging too many or too much exposure to the Force with Luke because he knew what would happen to him based on his father's reaction to it. I mean, the Force is easily manipulated as power by people. And if you're looking at, the lineage of a family, you're probably imagining, well, this kid could also become a Sith or a dark side user if I teach him the wrong things. I mean, I think it makes sense within the context of it, but I understand that like inconsistency critique.
Yeah.
But also, like, they weren't able to do as much during the 70s and 80s with special effects.
It is a fictional story, Jared. But also, like Kanan and Ezra, Kanan saw everything bad happen to his masters and all that, so he kind of shut himself off. And then you get Ezra, who's kind of like a little prodigy, so he doesn't, he's probably
Ezra is incredibly gifted.
yes. And then same with Ray. I mean,
She was a Palpatine,
I was going to say her grandfather could shoot lightning out of his fingertips.
and somehow he returned.
Yeah, somehow. But also,
Science may never know.
it's a fictional story, Jared. It's not real.
All right, don't have any fun with it.
I love Star Wars. I love Jared, and I love giving him shit about this right now.
Jared's got another one.
Another one?
Well, that one was sent in as we were finishing up last week.
DJ Khaled?
Another one.
Another one. God did.
Can't stand DJ Khaled.
Oh, you get out of here. I love DJ Khaled.
No, he's a moron.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
What?
Have you ever watched his Hot Ones interview?
Have you ever seen the shoes he designs?
He probably has other people do it for him.
No, not when it comes to shoes. Don't get on DJ Khaled.
Okay, he's got one thing.
Don't get on him like that. He's a good guy.
No, he's not.
Have you ever seen him at his kids' performances and
He
stuff?
actually has kids?
Yes. He's a dad.
Really?
Yeah. And he goes all out to make sure his kids like are doing the best and like they have the great performances. He's like his kid was like all nervous and came down and he did a whole show with them to make sure that they were like confident
Nice.
and stuff.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Another one.
He's still... Never mind.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jared here. I'm rested and refreshed from coming back from 3 incredible days of skiing out in Park City, Utah this week. And so imagine my
fancy.
surprise when I was getting caught up in the podcast this morning. And then Pop Chickawawa, you actually talked about that Mormon practice of soaking, which is the punchline of many jokes we told on in Park City, typically while dealing with their
Home of the
incredibly
Mormons.
frustrating and archaic alcohol laws in Utah. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so I learned about soaking twice this week. Though we hadn't heard about the version where a third person is shaking the bed to provide that motion. So I'm going to have to update my buddies on that one. Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me. The number of religious people that think they can find these loopholes. And then when they get to heaven, God's just going to be like, you got me, you son of a bitch. Good call on that technicality. Come on in. No, it doesn't end well for my kids when they try and pull that crap with me. And I don't get the impression that God will be any different. So, yeah. But, yeah, it was a good week. Fantastic skiing. I'm still catching up on the podcast. So, hopefully there's no surprises waiting for me today. And, yeah, hope everyone's doing well. See you.
The liquor laws in Utah are insane.
I feel like I've read some of them, but
When I went there for work last year, the hotel that we were staying in.
how does Jason and Natalie get around all this stuff?
Well, I mean, they have like stores and everything. What do you mean? What do you mean? They're not bootleggers.
Jason is.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
The hotel was not allowed to serve liquor by the drink unless it was mixed in.
Oh, yeah.
something.
I remember you telling me about this.
So I had to go and like buy a bottle of Turkey 101.
Could you say, give me a bourbon and Coke?
Shot in a chaser.
But yeah, like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Weirdos.
I didn't I didn't busy myself with that. But I mean, you could still buy beer and wine. Just not hard liquor.
Soaking.
We talked about soaking on Pop Chickawawa last week.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn more and not ruin your Google search history, subscribe for $5 a month on the
Or
Patreon.
ruin it.
And we got one more message from our buddy Bill.
The Google subscriber you called is not available. Please leave a message after the tone. Beep. What's up, boys? This is your boy Bill. I am leaving at Jack Daniels right now, heading over to your favorite and mine, Dickle.
Oh, he's
Man,
all right
Jack
now.
Daniels is a cool place. That's a pretty nice place. Did you guys know about the Tennessee Whiskey Trail? Like, you start that up and they actually give you a poker chip for every distillery you visit. I mean, that's pretty slick. Tennessee did it right there. Just saying. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing great. I don't have any fun facts. I have some things in my mind, but I'm driving. I can't think straight. It's fine. It's cool. Whatever. It is what it is. You guys saw the picture of me and my get-up from my award ceremony.
Oh, yeah,
Your boy
baby.
won
You look good.
You
an
look
Employee
so
of the
good,
Year
dude.
award. Woo-hoo.
You look
Anyway,
good, except your socks.
Enough
didn't match. I don't
boasting
know
about me. Yeah, that was it. I just want to say hi. I need to keep the streak going because if I don't, people get mad at me for it.
Yeah, I do.
And if you, hot tip, if you didn't know, your boy has this fun YouTube channel called Hanging with Bill where he
does.
has been rating chicken nuggies. Yeah. Yeah, I'm all over it. Get on it. All right, boys. It's good seeing you. Love you all. Talk to you soon. Talk to you soon. All right. Peace out.
Bill's in Tennessee?
Bill's in Tennessee, yeah.
Damn. I mean, that's close to us. Right now.
I mean, he could come up and sleep on your couch if you wanted him to.
Yes, ask April about that. And
I already
dog.
asked her. She said it's fine.
Okay. Come on.
Come on, Bill.
Come on, Bill.
He
Come here.
bounced down the stairs. They're like, did you get a time machine?
Parkours down the stairs with a pack of smokes. I'd be like, yeah.
Is this your pack?
Is this your pack?
High proof hot takes.
High proof hot takes.
What you got for me this week, Eric?
Bro, I don't know.
Don't do alcohol podcasts with your kids.
That's true. Kids are not supposed to be on bourbon-related content. And
That's not calling anybody out or anything.
no, that's actually calling myself out.
Go on the Patreon to find out what we were talking about.
I don't know, man. Just people just need to chill out. I mean, I'm all about like not treating anybody differently or worse, but like I feel like now even like the most sincere person can't even be funny or joke around about things without getting persecuted. And it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks not being able, always having to worry about what you talk about.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. That's just stuff I've seen lately.
I say be kind to yourself.
Be kind.
Be patient with yourself
be
as well.
patient.
I was listening to a podcast recently, and they were talking about therapy and trying to better themselves and everything, and they brought up this quote, which was from the new Spider-Man game. Balance isn't a goal.
Yeah.
It's a process.
Damn, that's hard.
It's a great mantra to live by.
It's better than, I don't want to be Spider-Man today.
I don't feel like Spider-Man.
You should always strive to be Spider-Man.
I don't want to swing backwards
I don't
anymore.
want to be Spider-Man today.
Tips and bits.
Tips and bits.
Did you read, speaking of Spider-Man, did you read Ultimate Spider-Man?
I have not.
Well, screw you.
I haven't had a chance.
I'm kidding.
I'm going to. Tips and bits. Popeye's chicken nuggets are great.
Yeah, right?
Perry just got me some of those.
That's how we got through this recording session.
Yes.
You think I'm joking?
No, it's true. I don't really have. I've been
It's weird. I don't really have anything either.
I've been so busy with just like home life and like work and like school. I'm in a class. I won't go into that, but I haven't really had the chance to do anything extra lately. My extra has been like going up the banners and having a drink and stuff like that.
I mean, I've just kind of been listening to like
all the stuff,
music and
all the normal podcasts, the normal music, nothing new, nothing I haven't said before.
I will say there's like one video that really stands out on YouTube that I watched recently. It was from a creator that goes by Chuppel, Chuppl.
Chuppel? Okay.
And the title of the video is Why the FBI is trying to find this TikToker or arrest this TikToker or something like that. The story is crazy.
Really?
Oh my gosh. It's like a 30-minute watch. It's not like true crimey or like gory or anything. It's just a really bizarre story where like you can kind of figure out what's going on early in the story, but it's wild, man.
Chupple.
Go check out that video.
It sounds like a scary movie for kids.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Chupple's coming to get you.
Chupple's Funhouse.
Chupple Part 2.
I don't have anything else.
You know what I have?
I know what you got.
I got a recommendation.
AIDS.
It's 2024. There's a cure. Magic Johnson.
He was in Danville
I know.
last week.
That's how I got it. You know what else you can get? You can get bonus content at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. You can support the show, but at $5, you get all the bonus stuff. You get Pop Chicka Wow Wow. You get Simply Irresistible. You get Pours from the Floor. You get this episode uncut. You get the pregame chats. That's a lot for a little. That's what I'm going to say. It's a lot for a little. Patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. If you want to get some merch, things that just say this is my bourbon podcast, lean back, baby. Lean back.
I'm tired.
Well, I can tell.
all the energy's just been
Bourbonshop.threadless.com. Get some merch. If you want to send us an email, you can send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you want to go to social media, you can follow the show at My Bourbon Pod. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. You can follow Perry at PRitter1792. You can go over to Facebook. You can join the Facebook group. This is My Bourbon Podcast Facebook group. Answer some questions. We'll let you in. And that's where you get all the show updates. And when we start getting ready for the live show, you'll get all the updates there. You can get this episode video versioned over on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Do all the things that help us out. You already heard how to be on the show earlier. You can leave a voicemail or a text at 859-428-8253. Do that. We have a P.O. Box that you can send us samples to. Or
P.O. Box 22609, Lexington, Kentucky 40522.
That's what he just said. Rewind it back if you didn't hear it the first time. And then just tell everybody about us. Send us stuff. Send people letters. Send people
Love.
Send everybody everything.
I love love.
I love love. I'm a flavor of love.
Oh.
Yeah, I am.
Flavor
Flav,
That
baby.
does it for this week's episode. Thank
That's
you
an
all
episode.
so much
Double
for
the fun, double everything this week.
Double Eagle.
Double Eagle, very rare.
Yeah.
Remember that time we got Double Eagle?
That decanter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have brought that.
You should have brought that.
Yeah, I should
You
have.
should put this in that.
Ooh, I'm going to do that.
I bet you some people would think it's the real deal.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for telling your friends. Thank you for leaving a review. Please leave a review. We would love for that to
5 stars,
be a thing.
1 star, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Do it.
It helps us out. We'll see y'all real soon. Until next time, though, I'm Perry,
I'm Eric.
and this is My Bourbon Podcast.